So my knowledge of Cuba before I read this book was relatively limited. Its relationship with the United States since the Cuban Revolution is something that I have followed as a spectator from afar. So I know about the missile crisis, I know about the Bay of Pigs, and I know a fair bit about Castro. I didn't know much about Cuban history before then, so there was a vast world that this book opened up for me. This is one of those great synthetic histories of a country which reaches into the soul of that country, but also places that country and its people in its relationship to the outside world, and particularly, of course, in relationship to the United States, but also, of course, to Spain.
From the beginning of this book, breaks the frame by narrating her own life, her childhood, and her own family's journey between Cuba and the United States. And with that, we understand that this is not going to be a book where ordinary people stand at the periphery or at the borders, but instead she is always concerned with how ordinary people are both experiencing but also affecting the course of human history.
It's a really clever thing to keep a reader reading over so many hundreds of pages with this narrative sustained, even though it's moving from different centuries and involves different characters. And I'm not quite sure how Ferrer does manage that. I think it comes from a real lifetime of immersion in Cuban history and the confidence to know what to select and what to interest the reader with and what to bring in as an illuminating detail, which sheds light on the bigger story.
I think for me, this book is really important in terms of the connections that Ferrer makes. She finds important connections between America and Cuba throughout the book, and I was really fascinated to see how all kinds of people are moving back and forth, saints, rebels, artists, poets, and so on. And it's really, you get really a good overview of kind of social, cultural, economic, and political history. And in a way, for lack of a better word, it's some kind of total history. It does a good job of showing how the history of America needs to be deprovincialized, that it's really connected to other parts of the world, and that Cuba is also part of America.